This problem is so close to me because of how much money I know international students pay. Is like, okay, we got to do something about this. I'm coming from a student perspective, right? What's going to be helpful for the students? And so they need a platform where, we're able to speak openly about courses because it's us. I mean, our mental health depends on it. Our future prospects depend on it. Our self-perception and how other people perceive us depends on our grades. There was no catalyst. I see problems. I want to solve it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode. Today, we have Aliya Ali. She's an absolute incredible entrepreneur. She has multiple startups that she has been working on, and she's won over $200,000 in scholarships across an international scholarship and a bunch of entrepreneurship awards. So she's highly credible. You probably have seen her if you're at UTSC. She posts a lot on social media. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
But first off, actually, I want to mention that she's building, the reason she's on here is because she's building RateMyCourses. It's a startup. It's a nonprofit, actually, right? And it's, Rate My Prof, but it's for courses. And they just launched the other week.
December.
Yeah. So it's amazing. And we're going to be diving straight into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So in terms of RateMyCourses, how'd you guys start? Like, where did the idea come from?
Oh, that's a long story. So I'm an international student. Okay, I was born and raised in Dubai. And if you guys don't know, international students, they spend $6,000 per course or $60,000 per year, which is 10 times more than what domestic students pay. So we pay a lot of money, and we have to make sure that we pick the right courses. We don't have the luxury to drop courses. So every single semester, I struggled with picking the right courses. I was always second-guessing my choices, and there was no platform out there to really tell me whether this was the right course.
Yeah.
And I joined during COVID, in 2020. So for 2 years, everything was online, and I didn't have upper year access to tell me what courses to pick in the upper year. And, what happens in the American curriculum and in the Canadian curriculum is that you have a lot of choices. Now, that freedom is good, but that also brings in a lot of uncertainty and anxiety, right? Yeah. You don't know if you're picking the right courses. Now, Rate My Prof was there. I went there for selecting all of my courses, but it wasn't enough because it was professor specific and not course specific. And so I was part of the AACC Student Advisory Committee. I was part of the International Student Advisory Committee, Campus Affairs Committee, a bunch of committees. And so in the AACC, I raised it, and I was like, hey, it would be great if you guys would create a platform for students to get help with their course selection, right? Just a forum like Rate My Prof. And what they said was that they couldn't endorse something like this that allowed students to openly talk about a course. Okay. And I was like, okay, but you guys do course evaluations every semester. Why not make that public? And you know what the funny thing is? 15 years ago, back in 2007, course evaluations used to be public. They had a whole book by SCSU. I'll send you a photo. And they had a compilation of every single course at UTSC. And a summary of all the course evaluations and how the course was, the communication skills of the professor, every single thing. That all used to be public. For some reason, they took it down. And so it makes sense because obviously U of T needs to maintain their reputation, etc. But I'm coming from a student perspective, right? What's going to be helpful for the students? And so they need a platform where we're able to speak openly about courses because it's really important for us. I mean, our mental health depends on it. Our future prospects depend on it. Our self-perception and how other people perceive us depends on our grades. Yeah. And in order to get good grades, you need to enter the right courses. And you know what? The funny thing is that, unfortunately, the syllabus and course content isn't available online. So only once you actually enroll into the course do you get access to the syllabus. First week in, they just go over the syllabus, not even the content. Second week in, you learn like a little bit about the course, and then that's when the full refund deadline is. Beyond that, you don't get a full refund. You get 50%. So you essentially only have 1 to 2 weeks to really decide if you want to stick in a course throughout that semester. That's not enough time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reasons, but that's how the idea kind of came in. So then I went to SCSU because ACC told me to go to SCSU. They're like, we can't, but it's a student advocacy thing. Go to the union. They talk for the students, right? Go to the union. They're like, oh, we don't have capacity. Sorry, come again next year.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just start it myself. Like screw you guys,
Yeah.
And then I already graduated.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not a student anymore, but this problem is so close to me because of how much money I know international students pay. Is like, okay, we got to do something about this. And that's how it was born.
Amazing. And I feel like you're the right person to do it. Like she has this very big reputation at UTSC. My friend actually, I told him that like I'm interviewing you, and he was like I told him your name, Aliya Ali, and he's like, yeah, I think everyone who's into entrepreneurship at UTSC knows who she is. So you built quite a reputation, right? In terms of like the social media. Is that how do you feel about that? And what you do to like I noticed that you post like every day. So what is there? Is that your sauce, your secret sauce, in order to?
Oh no, not at all. I mean, my social media is just for fun. As long as I start leveraging that for like my business or startup or this or that, it stops being fun. Mm-hmm. It's the only fun thing I really get to do. Like when I'm taking a break, I just edit videos, and I started this a few years ago because I just wanted to reflect. It was a platform for me to reflect. Mm-hmm. I also have my own blog that I started many years ago on WordPress. So it was just a platform for me to reflect, have fun, build something, create something. Because when I see my own videos out, I'm sure you can relate. You feel so proud. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, I built this. Or like my team created this, right? Yeah. So that sense of satisfaction, but also it's fun. And then when people, they find it fun and they respond to your stories, and it's just a way to be connected because I don't have the capacity to like meet people individually. I think personal branding is extremely important. Mm-hmm. And I never started with the goal of like, I'm going to get X thousand followers or X thousand people knowing me. It's just something that I do for fun. And I think that really like when you start doing it beyond that, then it's not worth it anymore.
I see.
In terms of popularity, I would give the credit to U of T. I mean, U of T is the one that put me on their news and on their social media channels and gave me the opportunity to pitch for my business and win money. So I wouldn't say social media. I was also known for social media. So before I was known as an entrepreneur, I was known as an influencer. Yeah. And I never even called myself an influencer. It kind of feels cliche. But an influencer, like people they started coming up to me and they're walking me and they're like, oh my God, you're Aliya Ali, or like, you sell chai or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And you are.
Yeah. In terms of the chai, I want to dive a little bit deep into that because a lot of people love chai, right? And you can probably relate to it. So is that just one project, right? Or are you trying to build something off of it too?
So I thought about it initially because people were willing to pay for my chai. I used to do fundraising for charity with my chai, and I used to sell.
Sorry, for some people might not know what we're talking about. Chai is Indian tea. Yeah. Keep going, sorry.
So I'm ethnically Indian, and every single day my dad will have chai at least 3 times a day. And he's like, whenever my mom complains, he's like, I don't have alcohol, I don't smoke, at least let me have my chai, So every day I would make chai for him. It's a tradition where you have guests and you always make chai. So I always just made chai, and all my relatives and family members would be like, you make such good chai. And I wouldn't really believe them because I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, you guys are family, you're just being nice. And the funny thing is I don't drink chai myself because I'm actually lactose intolerant. Oh. So whenever I do, it messes up with my stomach and I regret it. Mm-hmm. But so then when I came to Canada, I just made chai again for fun. Just to give people that taste of home. And then people's reactions was just absolutely insane. And I was like, are you guys being for real or are you just being nice? And they're like, no, for real. Like, I would pay for this. Like, you should monetize this. And I've actually had clubs. They would like have me at their events. I've had MSA and other cultural clubs. I've had masjids reach out. But now I'm at a point where I just don't have the capacity to make a lot of chai, and like, it's not worth it. Like, the money I make, it's not worth it. So I just do it for fun. But there was a point where I thought about making it like a franchise and having it like across Canada. But I was like, I don't know if it's providing real value, you know? So, yeah.
I see. I gotta try it. My mom makes the best tea, so there's gonna be a high standard. So,
Sure.
yeah. And so you said you came from you're an international student. So what was it like coming all the way to Canada and like, leaving your home country, Dubai, right?
Yeah.
And then settling in a new spot completely. How did that feel? How'd you go about it?
So like, firstly, I came in 2022.
Yeah.
And the biggest culture shock was actually the lack of bidets. So that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Even the halal food was okay. There's actually a lot of Muslims and a lot of cultural diversity here, which I was very shocked about. I didn't expect that, but I was very happy. I think that I settled in pretty well. I was very fortunate to get a really good house in a very good spot, like 15 minutes away from UTSC. Funnily, like through my roommate, because he and his family like own the condo. But I've had a wonderful experience at U of T because the best university in the UAE is like top 2,000 or something, but the best university in Canada is top 20 in the world. And so my reason to come to Canada, even before immigration or anything, was for that quality education. And U of T profs are just amazing. Like, I'll be honest, it's been such a fun ride being at U of T. I really miss being a student. I've made some really good connections that I keep in touch with even today.
Yeah.
And I just love learning. And I think it's about having that mindset to keep learning and being passionate. But yeah, it's been great, especially when you leave your whole family. There's this independence that you have and freedom, so you really have that time to do what you want to do.
I see. Yeah. In terms of sorry, I'm blanking out right now. So you said
I have that effect on people.
So you're saying, so you studied neuroscience at U of T,
did,
right?
yeah.
And then now you've kind of pivoted, right, to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What was like the catalyst for you? Because now you're working full time at
PR coach, yeah.
Right. So what was the catalyst for you to move away from neuroscience?
There was no catalyst. I see problems, I want to solve it.
I see.
Like, with all of my initiatives, it's not like I ever planned to do any of them.
Yeah.
It's just that this problem should not exist. And why is nobody doing anything about it?
Yeah.
There's something needs to be done, and I can do something about it, right? So it's all about just finding a problem that you resonate with, that you're passionate about, that you want to solve, and then everything else just kind of comes after that. So what was the question again?
So what caused the switch from like?
Actually, I'm somebody that's interested in a lot of things, and I'm just a curious person in general, and I love learning. Neuroscience is fascinating. Like, the brain is just, there's so much to learn.
Yeah.
And I was always a sciencey person, right? I wasn't always an entrepreneur. Even in high school, I was into the sciences. So the entrepreneurial stuff came because there was a problem that I wanted to solve.
Yeah.
And with neuroscience, I still love neuroscience. Like, the brain is still really interesting, and I love like cutting the brain in anatomy.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of fun playing around with that. But the reason I didn't stick around with it is because I actually didn't have any research experience in undergrad. So it was really hard for me to land any positions in research. And I actually wanted to get into focused ultrasound research. It's a fascinating research where you can cause lesions in the brain, so you can cure cancer without actually doing brain surgery.
Wow.
And you can also control parts of the brain, so you can increase or decrease activity in parts of the brain with just ultrasound.
Yeah.
You can open the blood-brain barrier. So there's a lot of fascinating things that you can do with this technology, but only Sunnybrook has it. And you're competing with like PhD students.
Yeah.
And it was just like difficult to get into that space. So I was like, let me just continue doing what I have been doing. And so I started, Meds4Less. It was already something I started while I was in my second year. So I was already in neuroscience. But the thing about me is that I am passionate about multiple different things, and I'm still trying to figure out like what I want to do long term. But I think it's just a personality thing where it's like, oh yeah, that's fun, you
And
know.
you just
So
hop into it.
yeah,
No, I feel
yeah.
you. I could see you possibly in the future doing like a there's a lot of like neuroscience like startups and stuff like that. I
Oh
can
yeah,
maybe see you doing something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Does that interest you? Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it
100%.
be like the
Yeah,
intersection.
yeah.
I know like Neuralink is there. That's
Yep.
like kind of like crazy though. That's a little. There's definitely a lot more. I was
Yeah.
talking to my friend. He was saying that he's trying to do something when it comes to the ESGs.
Yep.
Right, ESG readings, using that and like putting the readings from there into some AI model,
Yeah.
and that'll help detect, like, for example, when there's a real estate agent showing like someone a house, possibly, I don't know, this is all skeptical, but he was saying that maybe the ESG readings can.
Do you mean ECG or
Oh, is it ECG? Oh my God, it's ECG readings. Yeah, like the
or
like
the EEG? It's EEG.
One of those. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not a neuroscience major, but yeah, one of those three.
Okay.
So he's saying that could possibly help people understand how to like sell the house better, stuff like that, or even just because like you're
Oh, yeah.
taking in the person's because a lot of things are hidden subconsciously, right?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
possibly
It's just their brain waves
Yeah.
essentially, and they react differently based on different things.
Yeah.
Right. The activity, the frequency, the amplitude, and so even just being awake, your brain has a certain like baseline state, and so
Yeah.
when something's exciting or when you're emotional about something, you have different brain waves and different
Yeah.
signatures. So yeah, if you could lively like see. If somebody's happy, then you could try to like modulate that or try to like replicate that,
Yeah.
and then feed it into AI and then try to like do it again so that now okay, this is the kind of stuff that people like, and so that's how advertisements work, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Super cool stuff. Are you planning to integrate AI into RateMyCourses?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Really? How are you gonna go about that?
I mean, once we get enough reviews, we're gonna create AI summaries.
AI summaries.
So
How
that
does that
students
work?
know immediately what this course is about in a snapshot. So yeah, and it might even like suggest courses based on courses that you have been browsing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Oh, a snapshot. So it'll just be like a quick, like 4-line summary of like what the course is about.
Yeah, like what the course is about, who typically teaches it, when is it typically offered, is it recorded or not, does this have exams, what's the exam style, like anything related to the course.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Cool. Also, I have a question about so like for a lot of courses, it varies based on like the professor, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've thought about that.
Yeah.
So like, for example, there's a course like linear algebra 2. It's taught by this professor, and it's completely different if you take it with another one. So have you guys like are you guys gonna like implement like a professor option?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 steps ahead of you.
Okay.
So we're gonna give the users the ability to filter by prof, so that the statistics are gonna differ and the reviews are gonna differ based on the professor. So it's just a very simple filter. It's gonna be all reviews, right? So like the overall average difficulty, et cetera, about the course, and then filtered by the professor that's teaching it. Because definitely there are some people that want to decide based on professor, or as you said, the course differs based on who's teaching it. So we want to give them that flexibility as well, but we want to focus on the course.
On the course, okay. So say the statistical stuff again, like you were.
Yeah. So right now, we are able to. So if you go onto our website, there are a few numbers that you'll see over there: the average difficulty, the average, retake percentage of this course, overall quality of the course. Right now, we're just taking the average of what people are individually talking about that course, and we have different professors that teach that course, right?
Yeah.
So that's the overall course details. Then you will have the ability to filter by prof, and then the statistics and the data and the summary and all of that stuff is going to differ based on which professor you select. But that's like that's going to come down the line. Right now, we want to focus on just the overall for the course.
Yeah. And who's helping you build this? Your technical co-founder?
We don't have a technical co-founder, not yet. If anybody's interested, reach
Yeah.
out. But we have around 5 developers. Most
Wow.
of them are students. So there's somebody from UTSG. We have 3 people from UTSC, and then 1 person from Guelph that has graduated. I've graduated, but it's a mostly student-led initiative. Yeah, CS students. I'm so glad to have you on the team. But yeah.
Just message her. How'd you find these people?
So one person reached out on LinkedIn when I launched initially about RateMyCourses, and I said this is what I'm working on. The other person, I was interviewing him for one of my initiatives, and so I was like, "Hey, you said you're in CS," and he's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Would you be interested in working for me for this project?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Gives me experience." So that's how I got him. The other one, I think. Yeah, the third one I got him through a networking event. So there was an alumni networking, and I was an alumni mentor there.
I see.
And I was just talking to people. I was like, "You're in CS. You seem smart. You work for a bank, and you said you're bored, right? Because they're not. In big companies, what happens is that you just do like support tickets, but not actual like programming.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, you're bored. You seem smart. Come work for me." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So that's how I got him, and then he knew someone, his friend. So it's all through like networking and social media, etc.
I thought you put like a job posting or something. It's just,
no.
And they're all. So what was the reason you made it like non-profit compared to?
Yeah, so mainly because it's a for student by student thing, and one of the things is that when you start looking at money, I feel like it starts corrupting you at some point, right? Maybe not initially, but at some point it will. And I've experienced that with Meds4Life, right? And so I feel like when you go with the not-for-profit approach, it really grounds you to your values, and it reminds you, okay, I did this, I started this for students, not for the money. And eventually, like, we're at an early stage. If we get enough traffic, enough users, we might monetize it. But that's not the ultimate goal. It would just be for us to be self-sustainable, to like pay the devs, etc. But I didn't really see it as a business. I didn't want to make it a business because, like, when you look at the objective, it's really to help give students a platform to benefit. How can I want to make money off of students or anything? It just kind of corrupts it, I feel. So for now, this is how it is. Plus, I already have a business and we're making money, and like, I didn't think this was strong enough for a business, honestly.
I see. The business you're referring to is Meds4Life.
Meds4Life,
Let's talk about that. So
sure.
I'm a little, essentially you're taking medicine cheap, that's cheap from India, and then you're importing it to Canada, and then...
So not to Canada yet. Right now we're doing it in the UAE.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So you deliver it to their door? That's what I saw.
Yeah, we do.
Wow. So how do people like trust that,
Yeah, so we had to pivot a lot in order to really understand like what the customer wants, etc. Initially, we had an whole app built. We used to market ourselves as the Amazon of medicines. We had 100,000 products on it, etc. Then we realized most of our audience is actually on WhatsApp because everybody's on WhatsApp nowadays, and like our audience is blue collar workers that cannot afford medication. Right? So they're not very tech savvy to like, and even I nowadays don't go and download apps, I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I prefer, I'm a forums, WhatsApp kind of a person, social media. So, plus I have Apple issues. Anyway.
Apple issues?
Like Apple ID issues I'm having currently. Anyway, so how do people trust that? So right now what we're doing is we do a 50% model where we take 50% upfront and 50% when the customer actually receives the medication. And so that's how they build trust. Like before we were like 100% advanced, but people raised question of like, are you legit, etc. And then also referrals, right? People refer you if it comes from a trusted source, like if it comes from my school, for example, my school promoted as high school. So if it comes through that source, it's credible. People refer within the network or within the family. And then ultimately it's the 50% and then also repeat customers.
Interesting. So you deliver it to their door.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? Like you have drivers?
Do I really have to like give the secret away?
I mean, it's whatever you're comfortable with.
We have 2 models. And it really depends on how fast the customer wants it to be delivered. We actually have 3 models. Yeah. So 1, the customer can pick up.
Yeah.
2 is we partner up with a courier, and the courier agent will take it directly to their doorstep, but that takes a longer period of time. And the 3rd model is we deliver ourselves.
Oh, I see.
That's all the detail you get.
Okay. That's fine. That's plenty. So, I'm curious. So we went over so many projects that you're working on. I can't even. There's, the bidets. There's the. We didn't even talk about the bidets, right?
Yeah, we didn't.
So I'm balancing a lot myself too, right? I'm doing, like, classes, this podcast. I'm doing a startup I recently joined. It's called RateX. Stay on the lookout for that. It's an AI navigation app.
Nice.
And this podcast class, I'm doing a lot too. But I feel like compared to you, like, and I'm still I still have trouble like managing my time. Like, I'm behind on like some classes here and there, and like, so what do you do? Like, I actually want to learn from you. Like, what do you do to organize all these different projects and make sure that you're on top of things? Like, how do you do that?
Firstly, the reality is I'm not always on top of things.
Okay.
I was late for this podcast,
Yeah.
So let's just get that out there, right?
Yeah.
I just want to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah.
And the second thing is you don't juggle everything at once. Like, you don't do everything at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some balls are gonna drop, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reality of things. Like, if you have final exams, focus on your final exams. Like, everything else is not a priority. So it's really a matter of figuring out what your priorities are at this time, and then setting a goal for like that time frame, right? Because if you try to do everything at once, you're gonna burn out.
Yeah.
And burnout's bad. Like, then you're not gonna be able to do anything. And so you have to know that you're not gonna be able to do everything at once, and accept that. Accept that that's okay.
I see.
And I had a really hard time wrapping that around my head because of all my initiatives, and sometimes I feel like I'm not progressing at all because I'm trying to do so many things at once. And then I realized, hey, no, let's try to like focus on this thing for this period of time, grow it to this much, or like do a few things at some times, including self-care, by the way, which is extremely important. And just, it's okay. Like, it's not a race that the world's not gonna end tomorrow. And you're still like, how old are you?
20, 21.
You're still like 21. You got your whole life, right? Like, it's okay. And I think we have to accept that. I think for people like us that are so ambitious and always want to like keep going and running, it's really hard. But if you don't do that, then you're gonna lose it. So anyway, now to answer your question. I use Notion for everything.
Notion.
I have different like team spaces for it, and you just organize everything. You assign, make sure your entire team's on there. You have deadlines, you have priorities, you have different tags for different things. That's for like the team management, and even for self-management, everything's on Notion, deadlines, etc., etc. And then every single thing has to be in your calendar, especially deadlines, of course. Like, if you don't have it, I don't even know what you're doing, but. Like, and when I say everything, I mean like even lunch. Like, I have lunch and prayer slots like in my calendar because otherwise I won't eat. And there have been times where like my first meal of the day will be at 6 p.m. because there's like back-to-back meetings or like just so much going on. And also you have to make the most out of your time in the sense that any opportunity you get to do multiple things, do it. Like, during lunch, I call my family. During the gym, I call my team sometimes for updates. During walks, I call my friends. During the commute, I might do, edit my social media or answer messages. Like, you have to do multiple things at once to be on top of things. But definitely, I think the calendar is extremely important. I'm not saying to put every single thing on there because that's just too time consuming and you're not actually going to follow it. But the most important thing is make sure to have them there.
Interesting. So do you ever feel, because I have this problem too, I sometimes think, am I spreading myself too thin? Right? Maybe should I be like specializing and like, or, And do you ever feel that? Do you ever feel like you're putting on way too many hats?
Oh yeah, 100% all the time.
So
yeah.
What do you have any advice to...
I think that it's really important to do a self-discovery session with someone or even with yourself to really figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Is it worth it? What do you want out of it? What are the timelines looking like? Why are you not progressing, right? I feel that a lot of the times too, and I'm still trying to figure that out. You're not going to have it figured out on day one, but that is precisely why you're experimenting with so many things to find out what you're most passionate about.
Yeah.
Right. And so I would say, especially if you're a student, to keep testing the waters, to keep playing around and experimenting. You're not going to figure out your life mission on day one.
Yeah.
So you will have that phase, and then you'll sit down and you'll be like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. And then you start questioning yourself, asking the real deep questions.
Yeah.
And then that kind of, makes you realize, okay, I don't really, this is not that important. I'm going to leave it. Or like, I'm going to deprioritize it. This is more important. This is what I want to do. And of course, like, go to mentors, U of T has so many amazing mentors as well. So utilize that.
Yeah. So, it does take a certain person to like do all these things. Like, what's driving you? Did you have like parents pushing you, or is it just your self-interest? Like what's causing you to like take on all these different projects?
As I said, I see a problem and I want to solve it.
Okay.
And it just bugs me so much internally.
Yeah, I see.
Right? So that's one.
Yeah.
The second thing is I'm just a passionate person in general, and I just love learning, and I'm really curious. So that's two. The third thing is the satisfaction when you build something, when it's launched, and when you have a team that you're leading, and when you have your merch, or when you have your logo, or like when your video is out, or when you have your first set of like business cards, that pride, that sense of pride, like when your banner's out there, like it's like your baby.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
So that's another thing that keeps me going. There's just so many things that keep you going. But it also gets really hard sometimes, right? There are times when like all I do is sleep because of how hard it can get. And, just crises of like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it even worth it? Like, I'm not even a student anymore, et cetera, but then you kind of remind yourself about why you started and your values. And it might take longer than usual compared to if you were specializing, but I think that's okay.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next for RateMyCourses? Like
what's next for RateMyCourses? Yeah, so we're launched in UTSC. We want to expand to UTSG and UTM, and like North America wide. I already have people from like Turkey and the UAE saying that, hey, let's partner up. Let's like launch in these countries. But right now I want to focus in North America because like I'm here and I feel like the market's a lot bigger here. You have a lot more universities here and a lot more population in general compared to like the Middle East. So yeah, we just have to incorporate them into our database, find some sort of an automation process, maybe incorporate AI, etc. I also want to see if we want to like incorporate, if it's worth doing that as a not-for-profit or not. But that's for RateMyCourses. You haven't even asked me about bidets.
Yeah, what is next for? So how many places have you installed bidets so far?
So for the bidets, it's all in the student center. We have 4 installed. I believe it's the first in like all of Canada. I mean, in terms of institution, it's never been seen before. It's like a revolutionary thing. Nobody really thinks about it. Nobody really talks about it. So yeah. And I want to. Sorry, what's the question? Yeah.
Like what's next for it?
Same thing. So in terms of like short term, I want to expand to other buildings at U of T. So at UTSC, because right now they're at pilot. So that involves like advocating, getting more responses, pitching to admin, etc. But also expanding to other campuses and other universities. Same thing. So much demand for bidets. Other campuses, profs reaching out, being like, please, now you got to do this at UTSG. We're suffering here. I have people from even US that reached out, and from somebody from University of Michigan. He's like, could you please send me a photo of the bidets? Like, I want to do this at our campus. Somebody from Centennial in Canada. Like, so many people are like, I've been inspired. I want to do this too. So more than just me doing it myself, I really want to be that force of inspiration to have people do it automatically, to really have this movement that I started.
See. It's incredible. I feel like I need we need more bidets. So, yeah, it's been pretty rough out here. So I love the passion though. Like you're not even like making money off this. She's just doing it just
That's true.
just for the sake of doing it. That's incredible.
Because like it's so, when you find something that you're so passionate about,
Yeah.
that is so important. I've had bidets my entire life. I was born and raised with it, right? It's in every single washroom in the UAE, in the Middle East. So coming somewhere where there is none is like a whole different world. You cannot live without bidets, like for me and for a lot of people that come from similar backgrounds. It's not the same. And so, money is not the only motivation.
Yeah.
There's so many other things, and hygiene, inclusion, sustainability is one of them.
Incredible. Yeah, I think a lot of people are fortunately like their only motivation is money, and like seeing you like being motivated by something else it's very inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm very inspired right now. So yeah, I mean, anything else for Med4Less? Is there any next steps?
Yeah, so even for Meds4Less, we're doing good. Like we finally figured out a low cost shipping model. We were in loss, honestly, because shipping prices were really high. So we finally overcame that barrier. And now, even for that, I think we're looking to automate the process, because we recently did a campaign and we were just flooded. And then we had to stop the campaign because we just didn't have capacity. So even automating that process by having some sort of a chatbot or something that is able to respond instead of us responding, and building a team would be the next step for that as well. And even coming to Canada and other places in the Middle East. But before any of that, we need to automate and build a team.
Okay. And I want to wrap it up by, I know there's going to be a huge international audience that's going to be watching this, right? I want to know your advice for these international students that are either, planning to come here or they're already at UTSC. Like, how do they just spread your wisdom, to them?
Which part?
Maybe just about how they can set their life up here, or I know you do PR coach.
Yeah. I would say it's going to be hard, right? Like leaving your family. Tuition is expensive, especially at U of T. But U of T has a financial aid program that they recently started. So if you're into any like financial issues or emergencies, definitely reach out to the International Student Center. There are a lot of opportunities out there. Make sure to grab them. If you're living on res, email residents. They have an email. You'll get bidets installed, in case you didn't know that. And just an advice to any student or anybody is to just be passionate, but also take it slow. And be hard. Don't always be hard on yourself. Like, be kinder to yourself. I think that's extremely important for high achievers like us. To take it slow sometimes. Like, it's okay. Nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's watching you closely. It's only you in your head watching yourself so critically, but nobody really cares. So take your time, build a support system, keep learning, like never stop learning. Reach out when you need help. Stay in touch with your profs. That is like so important, because they're going to vouch for you. They're going to give you a recommendation letter for like grad school or any award applications, any scholarships, any of that. So it might seem a drag to go to office hours now, but they're going to remember you 5 years later when you reach out to them, So definitely.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So it's gonna wrap it up. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Learned
Thank you so
much. If you guys enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe. You know the drill. And I'm excited to see what you're gonna be working on next. There's probably even more projects that you're cooking up, right?
Yeah. We'll see. Honestly, at this point, I just want to kind of focus and grow some of the babies that I've already like started.
Yeah.
But thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. And where can we find Aliya? Aliya Talks, right? It's What's
my
the
Instagram?
Yeah.
You can follow me. My handle is Aliya Diaries.
Aliya Diaries.
Yeah. Just send me a collab.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Take care, guys.
Take care.